Burkina Faso just made a historic move that's set to shake the foundations of global finance, and it's sending shockwaves through the Western financial system. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the nation's bold leader, has inaugurated Burkina Faso's first-ever state-owned treasury deposit bank, Burkindlim. So, what does this mean for Burkina Faso, Africa, and the world? Let's dive in. But first, before we continue, if you're passionate about Africa's journey to financial independence, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more updates on economic and political developments across the continent. For years, the West, through institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and World Bank, has held African nations in a financial chokehold. These global financial giants have a long history of trapping countries in cycles of debt, forcing them to accept harsh austerity measures that only deepen poverty and inequality. Africa's complaints about these institutions aren't new. Many countries argue that these loans come with strings attached, forcing them to cut essential services, raise taxes, and leave the poorest citizens even worse off. Burkina Faso is now saying, enough is enough. By launching Burkindlim, Captain Traore is making it clear that his country will no longer be dependent on these predatory financial practices. This new state-owned bank is a key part of his vision for economic and financial sovereignty. Traore isn't just talking about change, he's building it. What do you think? Is this the right move for Africa to finally free itself from Western economic control? Share your thoughts in the comments. Why the West should be worried? Western financial institutions thrive on loans that come with interest rates so high they're nearly impossible to repay on time. These loans often leave countries in a perpetual state of debt. But with the establishment of Burkindlim, Burkina Faso is breaking this vicious cycle. This is a blow to the West, whose influence in Africa has often relied on these financial traps. The IMF and World Bank are known for imposing strict conditions that erode national sovereignty. They force governments to prioritize repaying loans over investing in critical sectors like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Now, Burkina Faso can chart its own course. This is a step toward true independence, financial and otherwise. In fact, we're already seeing the fallout of IMF loans across Africa. Just look at Kenya, where citizens are currently protesting their government's dealings with the IMF. They blame the country's skyrocketing debt and increase taxes directly on these crippling loans. Burkina Faso is trying to avoid that same fate. Will other African countries follow in its footsteps and break free from the IMF's grip? Let's talk about it in the comments. If you like what you are hearing so far, kindly support this channel by liking and subscribing to encourage us to bring you developments across the Sahel and Africa. Let's continue. Now, you might be wondering, how is Burkindlim different from the commercial banks already operating in Burkina Faso? And how will this new treasury deposit bank source the funds to support the projects it plans to sponsor? Let's break it down. According to Burkina Faso's Minister of Economy and Finance, Abubakar Nakanabo, the bank will centralize the nation's public funds. No more will public institutions and government agencies stash large amounts of money in commercial banks, while the Treasury takes out expensive loans to fund projects. Instead, all revenue streams, from taxes to customs duties, will now be channeled through Burkindlim. This means that the government can better manage its resources, avoiding the need for costly external loans. Burkindlim isn't just for government use, though. President Traore has called on both public and private development organizations, as well as individual citizens, to use this new bank as their primary financial tool. The bank will not only fund large-scale infrastructure projects, but also provide financial services to everyday Burkinabe citizens, supporting local businesses, farmers, and entrepreneurs. Now here's where the funds raised through the Treasury Bank could be useful. Burkina Faso faces significant security challenges, particularly from Islamist insurgencies that have destabilized the country since 2015. Terrorist groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS have carried out attacks, leading to over 2 million internally displaced people and a weakened security infrastructure. The government, under Captain Ibrahim Traore, aims to stabilize the country, but is constrained by limited resources. The newly established Burkindlim Treasury Bank could play a crucial role in financing the war effort. By centralizing public funds, the government could generate more revenue to invest in military logistics, arms purchases, and support for security personnel. This financial independence would reduce reliance on foreign aid, allowing Burkina Faso to make timely decisions crucial for defending its sovereignty and ensuring national stability. Also, Burkina Faso is embarking on ambitious projects across key sectors to boost its economy and enhance self-reliance. Funds raised through the Burkindlim Treasury Bank will support large-scale investments in manufacturing, aiming to diversify the economy beyond gold exports. Significant resources will be directed toward energy projects, including the construction of a nuclear energy plant to address the country's energy needs. Airport reconstruction is another priority, improving transportation infrastructure. The government is also increasing investments in gold mines to maximize its natural resource potential. In agriculture, funds will be used to ensure food security, with a focus on modernizing farming techniques. Additionally, healthcare will see major upgrades, including new hospitals and improved medical services, ensuring better access to quality care for citizens. Here's the exciting part. Burkindlim promises to be a bank that's closer to the people. What does that mean? For one, it's designed to provide financing that actually aligns with local needs. Whether it's business loans for small enterprises or agricultural loans to boost farming, Burkindlim will offer products that support the real economy, something the IMF and World Bank have historically neglected in favor of abstract macroeconomic goals. By offering more accessible banking services, including digital options and microfinance, Burkindlim aims to foster financial inclusion. This means more Burkinabe citizens, especially those in underserved areas, will be able to save, invest, and grow their businesses. Do you think this is the kind of financial system Africa needs? Let us know in the comments. One of the most important questions is how Burkindlim will fund its initiatives. Beyond public revenue streams, the bank will likely attract partnerships with international funding bodies, such as the Green Climate Fund, which has already been utilized by Burkina Faso in the past. Customer deposits and investments could also provide additional financial backing. What's remarkable about this move is that Burkina Faso will no longer need to rely on institutions like the IMF to fund major development projects. Instead of running to the West for loans that come with strings attached, Burkindlim will use internal resources and strategic partnerships to finance its growth. This is smart, forward-thinking leadership from Traore. Do you agree that this could be a turning point for African financial independence? Drop your thoughts below. Burkindlim is just one piece of Captain Ibrahim Traore's broader economic strategy. His vision is to make Burkina Faso a self-reliant nation that doesn't depend on foreign aid or loans. Traore's focus is clear. He wants to develop Burkina Faso from within, building an economy that can withstand external pressures and global shocks. His plan includes revitalizing agriculture, which employs 80% of the population, and diversifying the economy beyond gold, exploring other resources like manganese, zinc, and copper. Traore's goals don't stop there. He's pushing for industrialization, improved energy infrastructure, and investment in education to build a skilled workforce. By creating a state-owned bank like Burkindlim, Traore is empowering his country to make its own financial decisions, free from the constraints of international lenders. It's a move that's as much about pride as it is about practicality. But of course, there are challenges ahead. Burkina Faso is still grappling with ongoing security threats, and over 2 million people have been displaced by violence since 2015. Stabilizing the country will be key to achieving any of these economic goals. Can Traore's bold vision succeed despite these obstacles? Let's discuss. Burkina Faso's launch of Burkindlim is a landmark moment, not just for the country but for Africa as a whole. This is a bold rejection of the status quo, of the dependency on Western financial institutions that have long held African nations back. If Burkindlim succeeds, It could set a precedent for other African nations looking to reclaim their economic sovereignty. So, what do you think? Is Burkina Faso leading the way to a more independent Africa, free from the traps of Western financial institutions? Or is this just a small step in a much larger struggle? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and join the conversation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into Africa's changing economic landscape. This could be the start of a new chapter for Africa's resource management, and we'll be here to keep you updated every step of the way. Remember, Africa is watching,